Good morning, everyone. My name is Shannon. Welcome to King Family Farm. Today we're going to try and do a few things outside before the rain comes. Last night I raced around at like 8 o'clock and mowed because it stopped raining for half a day yesterday and the sun peeked out, and I got all my grass mowed. And I try not to mow the lawn too much because, yes, of course, we have livestock on it. We have chickens on it mainly, and turkeys. And we want the grass to be long enough so that it's there for them to eat. But here's the thing. If you just let the grass grow and it gets way too long, they just trample it and then they don't eat it. So you got to keep it kind of in there's like the just little tiny sprouts, and that's good. But what happens with that is that they destroy it. What you want is grass that's in like that active growth stage, but is about 3 inches long, 4 inches long at the most. And they will eat those nice tender shoots as it comes along. So yes, I do mow, mostly because it just keeps the grass actively growing. And as you can see, we got lots of rain, so everything's nice and green. And of course, we also run chickens on this particular piece, and turkeys, and the manure that they provide makes for like the greenest lawn ever. You can actually, the first year I did it, you could see stripes in the lawn from where the chickens had been. It was really kind of funny actually in the spring. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put my gloves on, and basically I'm going to pull off all my hoops, and I might put some T-posts in for my peas, get in the Hortnova netting that I like to grow my peas up, and then I'm going to pull my broccoli, which I still haven't done because, you know, life. So pull that, try and plant some radishes, but we're just going to see. If it starts raining, we're going inside. I've got 30 minutes on a timer because I have bread in my bread maker mixing as a dough. That's all I use my bread maker for, is for dough. And then it needs to be set in a pan to proof, and it needs to go in the oven. So I've got 30 minutes. So we'll see what I can get done. So put the T-posts in. I had this 48-inch Hortnova netting that I picked up off of Amazon. You can buy it in a lot of different places. And I just keep it rolled up at the end of the year. I do reuse it. Yes, it's plastic. This is on season 5. So, I mean, if you're nice to it and you take care of it, it does last. I just zip tie it to my T-post, but I didn't put zip ties on my shopping list this weekend, so that didn't happen. So I'm going to use a bit of baling twine just to get it started and get it set up. If you don't have this Hortnova netting and you've got baling twine or you've got like regular sisal twine, you can use that and weave it back and forth through the T-posts and train your peas up with that. You just put a line in, and then when they grow up about, you know, 8-10 inches, you put another line in, weaving it the other way. And you can do it that way, and it works just as well as the Hortnova netting. I like to put this up once and forget about it. So I'm going to tie it from the top and go from there. So if you've never bought baling twine before, it just comes in a big roll like this, and it works just like your knitting yarn. You just pull her out through the center. This is how it would sit on the machine anyways, and it pulls out this way. You don't want to, I know Boots, you want to play with the string. You don't want to take this plastic off and unroll it that way. It's a nightmare. It's intended to come up through the middle, so do it that way. So, and then the other thing I really like about this is that this is UV protected. And so there's nothing worse than doing a Florida weave on your tomatoes and having your twine rot halfway through the season. So when you've got a whole crop of tomatoes sitting on it. So we're just gonna cut it in lengths. I just use a utility knife, whatever works for you, scissors. It's not hard to cut. And away you go, and that's it. And so we're gonna use that to finish tying off the net. So this is like my 35-year-old bread maker. It was my mom's. It does the job. And there's the dough ready to go. And we're going to shape that. I've made this recipe before, so I'll link it down below. All right, so that needs about 30 minutes to proof. So we're going to go down and get the farm stand opened and see if I can't find that other roll of net. It's around somewhere, not really sure where, but. And we're going to check for some eggs because I hear the laying song from the girls. So, and we've had some problems with some egg breakage, so I'm trying to get a hold of them before they get a chance to bust them because they're fighting over nest boxes right now. Hey, so it started raining. I'm in my high tunnel. I'm gonna trellis some of my tomatoes because they're actually, with the heat we had last week, they've just taken off. So it started raining so hard, I had to change my shirt. I was soaking wet. So I have these spools, and they've got twine on them, and they hang from a cable in the top of the high tunnel. They just have this like loop here, the twine goes through, or the wire, whatever. And then when you want to pull down, see, they're really this way, they don't let you have any, but if you squeeze this, it takes the pressure off the spool and it lets you pull some out. So I'm just going to pull out some twine, and then I'm going to see if I can hang it back up there. It's a bit of a chore getting it down, so we're going to try. but I'm hoping it'll just get me up there enough. Here we go. All right. So now the twine comes all the way down here, and I'm going to use clips to clip the tomatoes onto this. So these are the clips. You can buy these on Amazon. You can buy them from Dubois Ag. And what you need to do is put the twine right in this little spot here, and then crimp the twine in there, and then close it around the tomato. And you want to do it under a branch so that the weight, it supports it. So we're going to bring this twine down fairly taut. You can see I've got some extra here, which is better than not having enough. And we're going to bring it down fairly taut. I'm going to pinch off this bottom branch. So we've had a little bit of stress from the heat from last week. So, and then all we're going to do is put the twine in there and then close it around the tomato. And that's it. And then as it grows up, we'll keep clipping it to it. And eventually I'm going to take off the bottom part of the tomato so that we don't have any kind of splashback. But mostly I bottom water these, so it's kind of not a real issue in the high tunnel. But for the sake of weeding and anything like that, and a little bit of cultivation, it's best to take off the lower branches. But these are the tomatoes that we put in last week, and you can just see this nice bright green new growth, and they're looking really good. So I just want you to be able to see how we put these clips on a little better. So what we're going to do, as you can see right in here, we're going to put the twine in there, and then as you close this, it gets caught in the hinge, and that's it. And then it won't go up and down the twine, and it holds in the same place. So that's how that works. So that's kind of it for me today, guys. I'm just going to finish trellising in here, and I have a few errands to do, and I think I'm pretty much just going to relax in this rain. I'm really happy it's raining. We're supposed to get about another 3 days of it. It's raining in Nova Scotia as well, as far as I understand, which is really good. There's been a lot of forest fires, and I'm just really happy that we're getting the weather that we need. So it's kind of drizzly, but I'm really happy with the progress that we've got going on in here. And oh, it's not bad. I haven't been outside in a little bit, so it sounds like more when you're inside than it actually is. So, but we got the trellis up, and it looks really great. And the season's really starting to kick off. You can see the lettuce is really enjoying this rain, which is just fantastic. Oh, I know what I wanted to show you guys. Over here in our trellis that we had put up, we had planted some beans, and I was just starting to wonder if the pole beans were going to come up. And that was Saturday, and I was like, I don't know, guys, I don't know if they're going to come up, but here they are. So they're just coming up now, and that's the pole beans there. So they're just starting. There's one there, and there's one there, and there's a couple more down the row, which is really exciting to see. So now they're all going to kind of take off, which is just fantastic. Our romaine looks really good, and then we've got some other stuff coming along here, really tiny and hard to see. But these little tiny, this is poppies right here, little tiny seeds. And then right here, that's carrot. They're starting to come up. So kind of all over. So now that I can see them, I can start kind of pulling the weeds a bit. So, and then our celery here is recovering really nicely from being transplanted. So is our dill. Our onions are coming, and of course we've got some weeds here we got to get rid of, but otherwise things are looking pretty good. So that's about it. It's continuing to rain. Like I said, we're supposed to get rain for about 3 days. The garden's gonna love it. The weeds are gonna love it even more. I've got these beautiful like paperwhite type narcissus blooming here. They're kind of the end of it. Things are coming along though, and they're coming fast. So late spring is here, summer's on its way. We'll get our tomatoes in later this week when the rain stops, and things are looking good. So we did get a whole bunch of strawberry rhubarb jam made this week, and so that season's underway, the preserving season, and we're just going to continue along with that, get our plants in, and that's what we're doing. So don't forget to like, subscribe, and share, and we'll see you here next time on the farm.